So my mom sends me this text yesterday. She is a 73-year-old woman who lives by herself in Georgia. She sends me a text yesterday and she goes, hey, do you know where I can find the last time my roof was inspected? And I said, maybe on the paperwork from when you bought the house or whatever else. As I said, why do you need to know, right? And she goes, well, because I just got a letter of non-renewal, like they're not renewing her homeowner's insurance. And I was like, why is that? And she said, because the agent's no longer there. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, the brightest crayon in the box, whatever you want to call it, but why would a insurance company drop your homeowner's insurance just because the agent who worked there no longer works there? That does not make any sense to me. Now, I will say that we found out that the gentleman who helped her and, was her agent for the last few years, unfortunately passed away, rest his soul. But the fact that her insurance company was like, hey, you've got like 10 days to get this fixed, get a new company, we're not renewing, we're dropping you, all because that agent's no longer there, that does not make sense to me. So I asked her, I'm like, okay, Mom, how old is the house? Like, what year was it built and what year did we buy it? So her house was built in 1988, all right? But she didn't buy it until 2021. She's only had it for a couple of years. She got it during the pandemic. And I would like to point out that as a 73-year-old woman now, when she bought it, she wasn't 73, obviously, but this is the first home she has owned. When I was growing up, we always rented, whether we were in an apartment or we were in a duplex or we were in a house, we rented the whole time because it made the most sense with a single parent and a child to rent as opposed to own, right? Well, now that she's older and now she has retired also, she is on a fixed income. She's working on, or living off her Social Security and off of her retirement savings that she had from her jobs that she had along the way to here, which my mom has worked at some baller places. I'm just going to put it out there like that. My mom is a badass. Just, y'all don't need to know, but I know, and that's what matters. So, she is on a fixed income and now she has an insurance company, a homeowner's insurance company, telling her they are dropping her. And this is why a lot of people ask me, hey, why are you living in an apartment? For somebody who sees what's going on in the world and whatever else, why don't you own your own home? Reasons like this, in all honesty, are part of one of those reasons why we rent. One of the main reasons is because the pricing for houses where we live is ridiculous right now, and insurance, homeowners insurance, is absolutely freaking ridiculous because we are in Florida and we are near water. The apartment makes the absolute most sense for us. But for my mom, as a 73-year-old woman whose insurance company, her homeowner's insurance company says, hey, we're going to drop you because your agent's no longer here, how in the HE double hockey sticks does that even work? But I asked her, I said, do you have the paperwork did you find the paperwork for the roof? She said no, but she found who did it, so they're going to come back out, whatever else, and look at things. But my husband, Kevin247 on YouTube, he remembered that when she bought the house, he went with her to do everything, to make sure everything was good, to make sure there were no issues when they did the walkthrough, that the house was sound, you know what I mean? That it didn't need anything like a new water heater or a new roof. And now we had our own company for the longest, and we were in a construction field. So he knows what a good roof looks like. And her roof is perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her roof. And a lot of these insurance companies are dropping people because they're saying, well, your roof is too old or whatever else. That wasn't the case. The roof on her house was replaced a few years before she moved in because the lady who lived there before her knew that she wanted to move out and knew that it needed to have a new roof in order to do so because the house was built in 1988, right? So her roof isn't the issue. The area she lives in shouldn't be an issue because they're building that area up. And then I'm thinking, well, maybe that's the issue because insurance companies right now are just going through and dropping people for no apparent reason. I talked to you guys about this before, how in California, I think it was State Farm, but please don't rely on that one because I cannot remember off the top of my head. I think it was State Farm was going through and just dropping people in California because of drone footage where they were going over people's homes with their drones to see what their backyard looked like, which one, invasion of privacy much? Okay, thank you. And then to drop them because they had something in their yard that they did not agree with. Some people were getting dropped because they had pools, whether it was empty or full, didn't matter. They were being dropped because they don't want to have a swimming pool on their books anymore, I guess you could say. They sound like a bunch of bookies. But the issues right now with so many people are the cost of getting a home is extremely high for a lot of people, a lot of places. The interest rates, although they have come down some, are still way higher, double what they were just 2 or 3 years ago. And now you have the issue of getting homeowners insurance, not to mention the issue of, if you have it, just getting dropped from it for no apparent reason whatsoever. I'm sure there's a fifth one, but I can't think of it. So we're just going to go with 4 right now, 4 things. But the fact that this my mom, 73-year-old woman, living by herself, retired, fixed income, Social Security, and living off her savings, now has to go get new homeowners insurance. And I can guarantee you that whatever company she goes with, because hopefully it's not the same one. I told her, I said, listen, I love you, but there's no point in staying with a company that's going to drop you because an agent left. Like, that is not how a company should work whatsoever. If the agent, which he didn't leave, again, we figured out is because, unfortunately, rest his soul, he passed away. But what they should have done when that transpired was said, hey, ma'am, here is your new agent, unfortunately, and then so we've placed you with somebody new. And then if they had an issue or it was coming up to a renewal notice, why wouldn't they send an agent out, if that's how it works, to look at everything and make sure everything's okay? I don't understand they just dropping somebody for no apparent reason. And my mom is obviously not the first person this has happened to. This has happened to numerous people. Kevin was telling me Michael Bordenero, I think he's some guy who walks around and shows you real estate or something. He was dropped from his insurance. And I'm like, well, that's what he does for a living. He's a real estate agent who talks about houses and real estate and insurance and stuff like that. And his people dropped him. People around us have been dropped in the area that we live in. And there's people here who can't get insurance because there have been tornadoes lately in the Panhandle, because they're worried about now the cost of repairing and replacing things if there is another hurricane. Hurricane Michael went through Panama City a few years ago, and then I think it was Hurricane Sally through Pensacola. Look, I'm pulling these names out my butt. I'm pretty sure I'm accurate, but I'm not 100% positive, so don't quote me on those names. I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure Michael was in Panama City and Sally was in Pensacola, and both of those wreaked havoc. We're right smack dab in the middle, and this area was perfectly fine when those things hit. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of rebuilding had to be done, a lot of re-roofing, a lot of new windows, a lot of new siding had to be done. And now, because of the lovely pandemic that we went through the last few years, the prices of everything are through the freaking roof, no pun intended. But you have the cost of materials have skyrocketed, the cost of labor has skyrocketed. And so now you have these insurance companies who they had to pay out so much over the pandemic when prices were going through the roof, but people's insurance rates were still the same. They had to pay out so much to get all these things fixed from, don't forget Hurricane Ian that went through Tampa, from all these hurricanes, all these tornadoes, all these everything else's, that now, according to them, they're working with almost a deficit, if you will. So now they're having to raise everybody's insurance for the people that they will keep, or they're dropping people because they're like, listen, we have enough to cover 10 people, so we don't need to have 100 people on the policies because we can't cover the other 90. Although without 100 people, you're not pulling in enough money to really cover those 10 if you really stop and think about it. Insurance is such a freaking pyramid scheme. It's absolutely ridiculous to have car insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, whatever other insurance there is. The second you use it, you file a claim, they jack your insurance up. Oh, medical, don't talk about health insurance, y'all. We're not even going to get on that one. Or who decided that your teeth and your eyes and your ears weren't part of regular medical insurance? You had to have, I guess your ears are part of it, but you have to have different vision insurance and different dental insurance. Why? Who got together and said, hey, let's rake them over the coals for as much as humanly possible? Everything is under medical except for two of the most important things that people use on a daily basis, your mouth and your eyes. Those should be completely separate, and you should charge them a lot for them for no apparent reason. So there's that. But I have an issue with the fact that, I don't even remember where I was going. I squirreled off too hard on that one. Y'all. Oh, you file a claim on anything and they jack your prices up or they drop you. I know people who have filed claims on their homeowners insurance, maybe because there was one person I know, he had to file a claim because there was a flood in his basement because something happened with the washer or something, and something inside the wall came loose, and then like there was a flood or whatever. So he had to file a homeowner's insurance claim in order to get that fixed because it had to do with like the foundation and the actual building of stuff itself, not the washing machine. And the insurance company paid to fix everything, and they said, drop, we're done with you. Why is this how this country works? I don't understand. They expect you to give all your money, and the second you need help from them, they say, we'll help you, but then you're on your own after that, boo-boo. You have to have vehicle insurance if you're going to drive a vehicle, and you have to have homeowners insurance if you're going to have a loan on your house. Those two things. Oh, and then for the longest, I don't know if it's still right now, you had to have medical insurance, or else that was a huge, like they wanted to fine you like $1,000. Ma'am, sir, if I had $1,000 to just willy-nilly throw around each month, don't you think I would have gotten medical insurance? that never made sense to me, to fine somebody for not having something because they can't afford to have something. I know the math doesn't math very well for me a lot of times, but who the hell is coming up with these things? Like, I don't understand. I think, here's what happened. The government probably started off as a good thing, ish, and then over time, everybody who got into offices just became really stupid. And then they made really stupid laws, like, you know, have to have this kind of insurance, whatever else. And then these insurance companies are like, oh, this is great. Let's go in there and take all these people's money. And then the insurance companies get in there and then they're like, we can do whatever we want. They are at our mercy because they have to have it. Without it, they're royally screwed. So whatever. And then, you know, here we are, little peasants, just living in this world trying to make it. And then you have just your insurance company randomly saying, hey, 73-year-old lady whose house is perfectly fine, your roof is almost brand new and nothing's wrong whatsoever, but because your agent's no longer with us, rest his soul, we're going to drop you from your insurance. Can anybody make any of that make sense? Because to me, it does not make sense. So here I am in Florida. Here my mom is in Georgia. And I'm like, I don't know how to help you from here. So then she's like, well, I should just move there. And I'm like, you could do that. If they're not going to renew your insurance, sell your house, come down here, get an apartment, save in your insurance like $12 a month. There is a solution to every problem. We just don't like having to find solutions to problems that should not exist. Your insurance company, your homeowner's insurance company dropping you because your agent's no longer there is a problem that should not exist. That is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. So there's that. I want to know if this has happened to you guys. I know a lot of people have been dropped from their insurance. I've had comments on videos before where insurance has like skyrocketed. They've doubled it, tripled it. Nothing has changed. They've just tripled your insurance because, again, the cost of supplies and the cost of labor and everything else, they're like, we need to re-up our bank game and have enough on hand and in the back in the stockpiles for when something else comes through and we have to fix these houses because everything costs more to do now. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And what do people do? Older people who don't have somebody that they can turn to for help. Like my husband and my brother-in-law is in Georgia. He'll help out as much as he can, obviously. My husband, we're here, but between the two of them, they're going to try to get to the bottom of this and help her get whatever she needs. But there's people out there who are literally on their own. And how do you, as a older generation, deal with certain things on your own without the help of somebody else? Even I, at 42, which is still, I hate saying that number, I still need help with things every once in a while. I still call my mom, like, Mom, how do I do this? Mom, how do I make this appointment? Mom, how do I cook this? Mom, you know, because she's got the answers. And then I ask people younger than me, can you explain this to me? Because I don't understand what's happening right now. Like, I feel way older because I don't know what's going on with technology these days. It is very, very confusing. What are these words these kids are using? What does Riz mean? I don't know what's happening in a lot of times. Anyway, but for people who do not have somebody to rely on, who are going through the issues of, you know, insurance dropping them or just anything along those lines, there's got to be somebody to turn to for help. That's all I was thinking about. Like, I'm glad my mom has me and, you know, the family, but if she didn't, who would she turn to for help in situations like this? I don't know. It was a random thought, random question. Hey, listen, Squirrel Tribe, I love you all immensely. I hope you're having a fabulous hump day, my dudes. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day, my dudes. I did a morning beach walk, started it on Monday. Totally off topic, 1000% off topic. We're going to go with it anyway. I decided that I'm tired of being in a negative mental space, so I've decided to start every single day positively. So I have taken my butt to the beach every single morning and done a brisk little mall walk style thing on the beach every morning, 30 minutes to an hour. And it has done wonders for my level of happiness and everything else for the rest of the day. So today was no different. Today I went out and walked, ran into some friends on the beach, even better. The weather is glorious. It is currently, according to my Jeep, 63 degrees outside, and it is sunny and it is nice and windy, and it's just, I'm so over winter. I am so over winter. I need spring to hurry up and get here. Summer can hold its horses because it gets a little hot out here. So summer can hold off for a second, but man, looking forward to spring. That's all I got to say. Okay, I'm going to keep you guys updated on what happens with this whole trying to drop my mom from the insurance company, because phone calls have been made. More phone calls will be made to see exactly what's happening. Somebody is going out to check everything, and I'll let you guys know what happens from that, because I'm sure it might be helpful to you guys as well. So, Squirrel Tribe, I love you. Have a happy hump day, my dudes. See you later. Bye.